Guys, a quick one. We'll be talking about Snapseed. Snapseed, and as you can see, this is our Snapseed here. This one dangling. So we'll be talking about it. Uh, among all mobile editing app, I will say, among all mobile editing app, this is one of the best, as in one of the best that if you know how to use it, if you know how to use it very very well, you know how to use this, if you know how to make use of Snapseed very well, I bet you your pictures, your designs, your logo will be coming out with unique touch. It will be all or everything. There's no design, whether you are a photo, a photographer, or you're a photo editor, anything. There's nothing. There are images you will take with your phone, and by the time you are done with it on Snapseed, by the time you upload it, it will be a masterpiece. It will look so studio-like and this thing. So depending on the area of your specialization, those are designers are not editor. Yes, that is, don't get that wrong. Designers are not editor. You might have both knowledge. So is that you might have photography knowledge that okay, this is how they will edit image. This is how they do it. Imagery is another skills, is another course on its own that it is very wide. When it comes to imagery, photography is very wide. Photography is very wide. Talking of the angle you will take your image, the lightning, the everything, the lines, they have everything attached to that. By the time you have little idea on it, you know that this is very wide. It's not just to just carry phone and snap, or carry camera, can code this and snap. So without saying much, or without not bucking you with much talk, so I'll just let us go to our Snapseed. We've entered Snapseed. You just click on, the major thing. Once you are in Snapseed, this is the way to. Once you download it and this is the way to just come out for you. It will not give any much listen, and that is why it is undirected. I don't know, maybe because it's not having this flashy stuff and all those things. But the in-depth of it, man, the body feel no fine. But you see the engine, it has good engine. So you just open. Either you click the plus icon or you click on the open icon. Then you just go, you can click on the hamburger in case the image you are finding is not here, and probably you have much image like I do. You can just go to your recent, click onto that hamburger button, this menu button here. Yes, because this is hamburger button. So click on the menu, the one on your left. Then you go to where your gallery, where it is. You just click on the image you want to edit. So let me go to download. I have some images I would like to use. So let's use this guy's image first. Let's use the image first. I want to show you something. So as you can see, this is like a preset, like a filter. The first, that is the look. As you can see here, we have three icons. Let me move my bar up. We have three icons here. We have the first one is the look. The second one is the tools. Then after you're done, you export now. So those three, will start with the look. The look is this, all this. You have filter, you can see it. Basically, how it is, it's like a preset, something that they've is already there for you. The very to edit is just for your image to enter and just assume the position it has already been edited. Like you see this last edit here. This last edit was the last one I did. This last edit was the last edition I did. The last editing I did there. So if I should click on it and I let this image assume it, you see the way it comes out, because my last editing, this was what I get. So same thing as this portrait, smooth, pop and the likes. So that is the way to come. As I look at the image, the original image, and look at the outcome of it, the previous, not the same image I did, there's a flyer I worked on, I think one of the student flyers I worked on. So but this is the way this comes out, because of I'm clicking on the last edit I did. But we'll go to current, of which me I don't like using any of this filter or preset here. I don't like making use of it. I go straight to my tools. So in my tools we have tons of these tools here. You can see them. There are many. And if we are to start explaining them one after the other, man, their functions are much, and I can tell you that. So, and I'll tell you, as a designer, you just need to learn few of it, and the more you keep exploring the app, you will get to you have a hang of it, you have this bit knowledge of it. And this one thing you can't know, you can't know the app finish, let me put it that way. You can't know it all. When it comes to this app, I can say it categorically that you can't know it all. It's just for you to get what you want from inside. It should give you what you want. Once you are done, you are out. You can't get it finished. When it comes to the app, we have different things. We have your tune image. We have your tune image here. We have your tune image. We have details, curves, white, and there's a lot here that if you want to. So, but the major ones that I will want you to pay your attention or to put your attention on is this as a designer that I usually use and which I'll be talking about in this video, which is this two here. These two, your tune image, your details, then your curves. I use white and black too most time. I use this white balance most time. It's not white and black, I just put it that way, but it's like temperature and tint, to give it that temperature, tint, and something like. So if you've been editing, you know what that is. Then in case you want to crop your image, cropping is there, but most time we don't do it. Then rotate, we know rotation now, we know what rotate means. Then perspective, we know what perspective means. I think if you've been using Pixel Lab for a while, you should know what perspective is. So at least to an extent you should know. Then expand is the opposite of crop, so we should know that one. Then this select, brush, and the likes, healing, HDR, cap, all those things are for photo editors. They are for photo editors. Like for instance, this healing here now is for like in case there's a diagram or there's an object in an image you want to just opt out. We use this healing for it. You just remove it, all this. You just omit it. It will not even look as if they remove something from the image, but without wasting time. And then I usually make use of this also. Then the rest, I just leave it to. I leave the rest because I don't have much thing. I'm not a photographer or this thing. I just do and go. So it has lots and lots. So you can just explore it. But the major thing is let's get the ones that we can start making use of immediately, that we can get started with. So I will be talking about this tune app, this tune image details, and this grainy film. So that we'll just talk about the few ones that you can start using. So like for instance, this our image we have now. Let's say probably we want it, there are some parts that is not sharp. You can see it. If you look at the image very well, you will see that there are some parts that is not sharp here. So we want to sharpen things, and you see like all these details here that are not coming out. So we want to sharpen it a bit. We want to sharpen it so that it will come out a bit, give it that detailing. So the first thing you do here is just for you to come to your details here. Once you're in your details, so one thing is, if you scroll up this way, let me show you something. If you hold your screen and scroll up like this, is you want to select the options there. So if I should scroll up now, you can see it because I'm scrolling up and down, up and down, up and down. That is why it will show you whether it is the structure I want to work on or the sharpening I want to work on. And once I start moving my arrow this way, I start moving my hand this way, or this way, whether I'm coming in this way or that way. That's if I'm going this way or that way. So either ways I'm going, it is to increase. You can see it, to increase and reduce. So as I'm increasing, going my left and right, you will see that yes, the image is changing in detail. The structure of the image is now popping out. If you look at it now, it's a bit blurry, but the moment I increase it, you can see the detailing of the image is now out. Now seeing it at 100, you can see the image, the beards, everything is now out. You can see. Then when you look at that, the figure, you can see that it's showing now, other than before. You can see the before, you can see the after. So I'm sure you can see these are works that yes, you see that the air, if you look at the airs, you see that it is blurry, then this place is now sharp, bringing it out very well. So that is one good thing about that. Then don't use it too much, because if you use it too much, you can like 90, 80, you can even, there are some images you want to work on, you have to use 100. So let's leave that as 100. So you scroll up, you go to and select the sharpening. Then you can go left and right also with this one. You can see it left and right also. So the sharpening also means how details you want it to be, how sharp. Like you know that when image is blurry, it's a bit, that means it's smooth, the smoothness is too much, so it's not showing or it's not that visible. But when they say sharp, image is sharp, that means it's extremely clear. So this is what sharpening does. So by the time you had like 25 to 50 sharpening in some images, depending on how you want it, you will see it to be very clear. So you can see that this text by this side is now becoming obvious. It's now becoming what? Obvious. Unlike the previous one, you can see it that is not clear, that you cannot see it clearly. So that is how it is. So the next thing is, once we are done with it, let's say we are done with our sharpening, let's put it at 50, then our structure, let's leave it at something, let's say we are done with it that way. Now I want to go to my tone image. Let's say now I want to have some brightening. So if you scroll up, same way you scroll up, you scroll down, you will have some options that you can work on here. We have your brightness, contrast, saturation, ambience, highlight, shadow, and warmth. So you can see it. So by the time you work on all this, we know what brightness is, we know what contrast is. All these things is something that you just need to just touch to see if you don't like it, you return it. That is the way you can explore it till you edit it. That is what editing means. You touch and touch and touch. Then as time goes on, you know the function and what your image is like. Okay, my image need a little bit ambience, let me go and add it. As you get used to it, you will start knowing it. It's not something that they will just teach you. If I'm to use one or two images to show you, okay, this one, the ambience is this, the contrast is low, this one, that one is this, okay, go and add this 50% detailing, this one sharpening. By the time you hold onto another picture, maybe another picture that the situation is worse, or the situation is not as worse as the one we use as example, you will discover you using that same figure or using that same settings I gave you might not work for the image. So it's for you to just know the functionality of each tools and how to use them. So by the time you know the functionalities, you will know how to apply them to every images that comes your way. So that is that. So the brightness now is, by the time I scroll right, you can see there is lightening up. As the name increases, it implies is lightening up the image. In case there's a dark image, like see it now, the image is dark. When I go to it's dark. That is the opposite of it. You know, we have what do they call it? Left and right. So this is the opposite of it, and you can see it. So this is the opposite of this is brightness. The opposite is dark, to darken the image a bit. So that is that. And when you see that, like this image now, there's nothing like brightness. It does not need brightness because the image is not dark. I don't mean the image is dark, or even though with the brightness it is, if I'm to edit this image, I will darken it a bit so the color can come out a bit. I will just give it maybe like 25 darkening to make it, like that. So when you come to contrast just enhance it. You can see it. So this is it. Then it brings it down. The contrast is just to enhance the already set color there. So but we don't need it now. So what you do is, the saturation is like the coloring. You can see saturation is just the coloring. This one has given you white and black. So by the time you give it this white and black, if you go back to your contrast now, the contrast will enhance the blackness to make it beautiful. You can see it. Then it can make it dull by the time you go to the other side. So depending on what you want, this detail black and white. So but if you come down to, you bring your saturation back to its normal flow, you can see you can give it color, give it a bit. So that is that. But for our saturation, we don't need saturation here. The ambience also is just like to lighten it up and add a bit of color to it. So you can see it. Then by the time you take it back, you can see it. To lighten it up, and to add a bit of color. Is that to whiten it a bit? It's just, if you know the meaning of ambience, that is just what it is. So that is just it. So then we go to our highlights. Highlight works with any aspect that is bit dark. It will highlight it. It will make it lighten it up. So you can see it will just lighten it up a bit. That is what highlight does. It will just lighten it up. So Then we go to shadow. You know, shadow is just to every dark area it will lighten them up, and anyone that is not dark, if you want to give it a dark shadow to darken it, and so sorry for that noise. That was my son. So shadow, as I was saying, is just to, by the time you darken it, you move it to the left, you darken it a bit, you move it to the right, is to lighten it up. So that is just, once you know the name, you know what they mean. That is just what it is there. So then this warm now, this is what I would say it is very important. This warmth, it is very important, is to give it, it has this special effect that at times, but I don't use any of this. Let me take this back. Let me take it back. Then saturation, yes. The highlight, let me bring the highlight back to the brightness, let me bring it back. So this is what I work with most time. Most time, if you see my design, I just come here after finishing designing, I can increase just give it a bit of warmthness, then just go maybe like 15. There are some images that I use 25 for. There are some images that it will be so worse than that after I've increased the brightness, the what do they call it, the detailing, the sharpness, the structure. I've increased all those things. I have to come and give it that color in there. After you are done, once you are done, you can now come and increase it a bit, the shadow lighting there. You can see it. Then you go to your ambience. And give it small light up, just give it detailing. Then you check on the previous image, how is it okay? So this was white, the previous one that we edited was white, and now you're doing it. So that is that. Then once you are done, you just click OK. Then now to check the overall, the beginning and the end of it, this is the previous image. You can see the previous image here, and now this is the image we've achieved. So then with that, then there's this grainy film. I do add it. I don't know, I love that effect. I love it to have this, like, then I can give it this one 25. At times I give it 50 because I love the effect. Then you can reduce the style strength. I love that effect. Let me take it down to 15. So I love it. So one thing is, don't be scared when you are editing all these things. You can, as we go further, I will show you. I'll be stopping this as 20. So this is this. So as you can see it, you can just leave it at maybe something like this is okay. Then you go. Then once you are done, if you see that okay, the effect is too much on one side, you can now go to this side. You can see this edit. This is the where it is very important. As in, this is the aspect that you need to learn how to work on very well, because after you've applied those effects here, you've applied all these things here, there are some times that you will need to just come over here and come and do it. Then once you click on it, you click on this side, you click on this edit stack, you just come here, click on your this is where you can undo and redo truly, but this is where the work is. So what you just need to do is you view your edits, it will come like this. So let's say I want to work on this graining effects. You can see where it's showing blue here. Let's say I want to work on this graining film. Then I'll just click on it and click the middle one, which is the edit. Click on it. I'll click on the edit. Then now what you let me show you something here before our time runs out. You see this side. This is to apply the effect. That is, it's in 100%. Then by the time you click here, to reduce the effect of the effect. I don't know if I am permitted to use that word. That is, it will reduce. By the time you reduce it down, let's say for instance now, I reduce it to 25. The effect of it, by the time I start cleaning it, you see that the effect is a bit reddish. That is, that reddish aspect is where I'm applying those effects to. It's showing you that okay, this place has been applied to. So by the time I click OK, you will see. So this icon is just to show you okay, where have I applied to. Then by the time you click off the icon, it is already applied. So by the time I click OK, you will see that it is applied already. See the previous ones, And as you can see, this is the previous one. You might not be able to see it very well when it was on in 100, and this is when it was off 20, and this is when it is now 25. So by the time you increase it to 100, you will see that the effect on it is now much. That is the effect. It's like darkening it the more. So by the time I click OK, you can see it. You can see that the effect is now applied more on it. It's now applied more on it. I'm sure you should be able to see it. This is the before, this is the after. So now, once you are done with that, you just click OK. And then if you want to edit the sharpening, probably there are some side you want to, like the detailing now, the structure and the sharpening. Probably you just want to apply the detailing on just the, this is our original image. This is the original image. This is the way our image comes. So, but let's say we want to apply that detailing, the sharpness on only the image. This is what you will do. Click on this, your icon, so you'll be seeing where you click. You just try to, you click on, you apply the effect to just the image. You can use your tool, pinch it in and out to increase. You can apply it on just the image alone, and you will see that it's only just the image that will be affected with the detailing. That is one thing. So one good thing about this app is that you can apply some effects to just some specific portion of the image or the flyer or any design you are doing. So that is one good thing about it. So let's say I've highlighted all the whole part I want now that it should be affected. I've highlighted those parts. So I'll click OK, and you will see it's just my image that will be highlighted. So you can see it now that this is the before, this is the picture that comes in. This is the picture that comes in. If you look at the image very well and you look at the background very well, you see that it's only the image that will change now. Only the image that change a bit, and the little parts that man. Then the other side, if you look at this corner here, you see that it does not change a bit. It does not change a bit. This is the previous one now. Look at the previous one, original one. Then this is the detail. You can see. By the time I click on the original, you see the way it comes from how we import it. Then this is the details of it. You can see it when I apply the details. Only applied to just the image now, because of I only highlight that image. But when I was here, when I was in these tools, it was being applied to everything. So I will stop here. It's already 22. It was being applied to everything. But looking at it from the editing aspect, from this edit stack, you can pick the position you want it to apply and the position you don't want it to apply. So that is that. I think maybe I will do another continuation class that will talk more, or probably a flyer sample. We'll do a video on a flyer sample on how to edit it. But with this, you can start making use of it. And if you need more class, you can drop in the comment section button for me to continue the explanation. But I believe with this, if you understand what and you put to practice what we've done so far, and you try to go around, you exploit the tools, I bet you are good to go. It's just for you to get the few functionality of it, and little by little you get used to it. Then once you are done with your editing, you've finished everything, you just click your export. Then you can use the export as JPS, or you save, you create a copy, any of the two. And you can also export as, when they say export as, it's either you want it as PNG, you want as that and that. So that is that. And you can also add text here. You can also add text in. You can just go to text, you put in your text here. By the time you double tap to change it, you can put in anything. So you see it, you can just put in anything you want. So that is that. So please subscribe. You can see it. That is that. You see it, this is text. You can edit it, you can change the style you want. If you want this style, you want this style, anyhow you want it, you can change the style. And if you don't want any, you can also remove it. Okay, I don't want any style, just give it in line. If you want it in a tinier line, a lean one, you can just select in a handwriting format. So this is it. You can just select the ones. They have different tons of styles there that you can select from. And if you want it to be in form of like a chart, you can see it. So that is that. You want to change the color of it, the transparency of it, sorry. Then this place is the color. You want it in green, you want it in dash, any color you want. That is that. So that is that. See you next time. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe, like, and share, please. Thank you very much.